Welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz preseason special on KEZI 9 News.
We are now joined by Ben Schorzman, prep beat writer from the Register Guard. Want to talk a little bit about what you think some of the most intriguing storylines are for high school football in our area this season. And it always starts in 6A with the Sheldon Irish. They lost a lot of guys this year. They lose a lot of guys every year, but they still always manage to be Sheldon.
Yeah, that was the thing that struck me when I visited practice last week. Coach Johnson said, this is a very Sheldon group. And to some people that might not make a lot of sense. Of course it's Sheldon, right? They're playing for them, but what he meant was it's a program. They have it built up, and even though they lost 25 seniors, they have a bunch of guys coming up underneath that are gonna make a lot of plays for them this year.
It's kind of the younger brothers taking over
Right.
now, and Justin Herbert at quarterback, I know, is a guy that they're really excited about at Sheldon.
Everyone just raves about Justin Herbert. Got to see him play in garbage time last year in some blowouts, and I remember asking Coach last year, was like, who's this young kid that just can run? And that's what he's going to bring this year is zone read and all that stuff that they didn't really have last year with Joseph Kuhn, who is a little bit more of a pocket thrower.
Get back to maybe when Taylor Alley was there,
Exactly.
a guy who can run the ball. Now, obviously playing at Oregon.
Yeah.
Heading down south a little bit, South Eugene has a new coach, Chris Miller, gone after 1 year there, and now it's Kevin Leonard, who was kind of a longtime deputy of Chris Miller. What is your impression of what Kevin Leonard has done to the program?
I think he's made it more positive. That's what a lot of the kids said. They said it's a little bit more upbeat around camp, not a lot of yelling. It's a lot more positivity being reinforced. And when I went to camp last week, there was Katy Perry blaring, and they played music throughout the entire practice, and they just really wanted to instill being a group. And because they haven't had a lot of success, 2-28 in the Southwest Conference since 2011, haven't won a conference game in that long. Not a lot of upbeatness around South, so for them it's trying to get that back.
Meanwhile, at Thurston, Coach Justin Stark always kind of likes to innovate, and it sounds like this year we're going to be seeing something pretty crazy on special teams from the Colts.
Yeah, this kicker named Jaron Levesque, I noticed last year he played against South Eugene late in the year. They beat him, kicked a 46-yard field goal. And I asked Coach Stark about it afterward, and he's like, yeah, this kid's for real. And this summer, he's a soccer player too, but this summer he went to Oregon's kicking camp and competed well against kids that are being recruited by the Ducks. And Coach just really thinks he's gonna be a D1 prospect. But yeah, they're gonna place kick their punts, which is I've never seen before, and I had to really brush up on that. Ask Coach about it.
I don't think anyone knew that you were allowed to do that.
Yeah, it's the same exact thing as a punt. It's just from 7 yards back, and they're just gonna have a holder, and they can place things a lot more because you can consistently kick it 40, 50 yards down the field, which is a big weapon.
It's going to be fun and interesting to see at Thurston this season. In 5A, the Midwestern League got a lot more competitive because of realignment. Willamette into 6A, who had struggled even in 5A the past few years. North Eugene going independent for the season. And Crater, who had been decent in 6A, comes down now to play in 5A in the Midwestern League. It's going to be a much tougher league this year than even in years past.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were maybe a little surprised by just how down Marist was last year. Struggled a lot. You saw it early. Their offense wasn't that great. This year they've added some weapons, so they're going to be a lot better. Ashland was great last year. Springfield, they lose some All-State guys, but they still have Trevor Watson. So yeah, at the top of the Midwestern League is going to be really fun and exciting.
It should be hopefully a fun season for high school football, as it always is in our area. Ben Schorzman of the Register Guard, thanks for coming on our Friday Night Blitz preseason special.
Thank you.
And coming up after the break, we reveal our high school football Friday Night Blitz Game of the Week schedule. Find out which games will be live broadcasted on Friday nights throughout the season, right after the break.
Across the 50, Yadi Dunmore in a foot race, and he will score. Touchdown, Sheldon.